Welcome to the Raw Vegan Guru channel, where we are raising our health consciousness one thought at a time, one action at a time, one meal at a time. So today I thought I would talk about pain and what we can do about it, why the heck it's going on, and it's always a major bummer. So I'll give a little quick synopsis of my history with pain. I sustained an injury going back, and it was a calcaneal fracture and a torn ligament of the Achilles, and it occurred when I was running. Now, I believe that this injury occurred because I was not in shape at this time going back. I was not eating a healthy, balanced diet, nor was I fully raw. I was definitely lacking. I was abusing my body. I was much younger. The alcohol and cigarettes and pharmaceuticals, all the garbage, because at that time I was seeking to escape who I was, I guess. And what a waste of time, but all for a reason to have brought me to where I am now. So it's a gift. So I had this injury, and I went down the yellow brick road of tyranny and demonic structure, where it was all the pharmaceuticals and it was procedures, and it only made my pain worse, and I wasn't getting anywhere, and it put me into a state of anxiousness and incompatibility with my higher self, or what my purpose or who I even was being absolutely miraged and coated with fog and confusion. So that began my journey into where I am now with the raw vegan diet. So I have learned so much about pain. I personally can tell you, when one says, "Oh, I understand," or "I'm sorry to hear this, I've been through that," I'm on the front line for that one. I cannot even express in words the years and years of agony and turmoil and addiction and confusion and misery and suffering that I went through that I never thought would end. So that's another story of how I came out of it. But to simply kind of give a synopsis, the raw vegan diet is what changed my body and rejuvenated my cellular structures, so that I rebuilt, I re-examined, and I came to a beautiful place of harmony, peace, balance, love, and light. So there are a few reasons why we have pain. You may sustain an injury, and that can happen to anyone. So it's really just about how you're going to go about healing that pain, or allowing the body and its required needs to be able to heal correctly and rejuvenate. So that is a different process that I can discuss in another video, because that would be much more in depth. But basically, if we sustain an injury, there is a time for mainstream medical care, such as maybe surgery is needed. We had a major trauma to the body, or perhaps we had a broken bone, or something is torn and we're casted. So that is very understandable and needed. So I'm not going to say that every single time something happens to the body, run for the border and get out of allopathic town. I'm just saying we have the power and the ability to take care of our body's healing procedures. So I was in a cam walker. That made a huge difference in my healing. It was how the medical establishment responded after that fact that put me in, the pickle. And boy, do I love them pickles. So If you sustain an injury, yes, cast it. Yes, stay off of it if that's the guidance that's given, or just common sense is involved for what we should do or listen to our bodies. Now it comes to how can we heal? Well, we can begin to heal by listening to our bodies. And if our body's saying, you've been on your foot, you injured your foot, you've been on your foot for an hour now, and you need to sit down because it's starting to really ache, then listen and sit down. Those kind of simplified messages that we get from within that a lot of times we can ignore, or we've been programmed or brainwashed to not even acknowledge them because we're listening to exterior sources. So let's allow the body to heal. Let's stay off of these injured areas, whether it's our back, our neck, our shoulder, our knees, our foot, and let's then begin the process of really getting into the healing. So that is going to involve herbs. It's going to involve diet, which I'm going to, of course, promote the raw diet, the high fruit, and the a little bit of the raw vegetable. And in relationship with fasting, essential oils and herbs. That is going to allow you the process of coming back into your required harmonious, balanced self. It may take a little bit longer if one is used to the instant gratification of our matrix. But in the end, it's going to give you the structure and the stability to endure this physical vessel amongst this enormous magical creation of Gaia. And beyond that one, but just in this physical form for now in the density. So I'm going to talk about what you can do now if you are having pain. Now, the first thing you need to realize is that you're having pain. Now, we've stepped aside from the injury because that would be obvious. So we're having pain. Your neck is hurting. It's aching. Your elbow is very sore. Your shoulder is very tender, and it's really sending some pain signals up to the noggin. Um, your knees are aching. Now, these type of things you feel stiff. These have a few contributing factors to begin with. It doesn't matter who you are, where you're at. This is what is happening. First of all, you have an acidic environment within yourself because you're going to have more fluidity and you're going to have more flexibility and more endurance to kind of sway and move and groove throughout the physical form when you're alkaline. And you'll notice that when you become alkaline and you take that path and move towards those goals of the raw diet and the herbs and the fasting, and you really achieve not taking in any of those outside sources like the processed foods or the pharmaceuticals or the alcohols, the refined sugars, all those elements that create this acidity. Not to mention, we always seem to overlook when it comes to why is this happening? What's going on? We have the emotional state, we have the energetic field. So you could be, a frugivore and not have dealt with any, previous or emotional trauma or baggage. Or memories, closure, all of these different elements of the emotional state, the energetic state, that comes into a spiritual sense of self, and that's going to give you blockages. That's also going to make you stiff and kind of bound up and tight. It's not going to allow the flow for the healing. So that's something to also consider. But let's just say we're going to move into the physical form of I'm having pain. So we know that it's going to be an acidic environment. What's that going to create? It's going to create inflammation. What is inflammation? Inflammation is basically the body's response to something imbalanced in a certain region of the body, where again it can be energy flow, or it can be systematic movements of the body that are being affected. Maybe we have organ strain in areas, blood flow, and different elements that are basically causing an interruption and a pain base in that region. It could come from something as simple as perhaps you're out of shape, or you don't have a proper balanced diet, and you work 10 hours a day and you're on your feet all the time. That's really going to put the body out of alignment. That's going to whack you out. That's going to cause inflammation and strain and imbalances where you're going to have discomfort. So there's so many different elements. That's why we always have to stop and listen to our bodies and really allow the signals to be given, because they will always be there to answer us. It's just that we're not listening. So hand in hand with everything that I talk about is time to the self, time within, meditation, deep breathing, stretching, yoga, aligning with nature and our higher self. So all of these different things are going to give you answers and are going to speak with you. So when we are having these discomforts and we are having this pain in the body, and we know now that it is a acidic environment that's causing inflammation, then we can, beside beginning the process of healing, we can immediately go to our herbs and our inner work practices in order to lessen the discomfort. So we're going to begin to be doing things that are going to help us to heal in the long run if we make that decision. But in the interim, in the now, I'm having pain, my back is aching, what can I do? Well, I do have a previous video on the Raw Vegan Guru channel that does talk about different flexible motions and stretches that help with back pain. So that's just a perfect example. That's a routine that I do to keep with my flexibility and contend with. I've had some trauma to my back through, the physical, economic slavery and labor, and it's really taken a toll, and that's been a part of my rejuvenation and my healing process. And I still get flare-ups and moments and strain and stress in these areas, and I'm still working through this. So that video is a great example of different physical practices I do with breathing and stretching that help to loosen and then also prevent the strain within my body, in my back, so that I will not always consistently be contending with that. So yoga, there are millions, I would gather, because there's so many great ones, I'm always saving them all the time, of yoga videos on YouTube, for example. All of these videos are great lessons and insights and step-by-step basically instruction of how to do these different stretches, and it's always coming into relationship with the breathing, the deep breathing. So that is going to be very helpful with preventing pain and maintaining the pain that you may be dealing with. So now another thing that we can do is our mindfulness, being aware and present in each moment, so that we're not going to put the body into any position that will possibly cause injury or strain. Sometimes we're very mindless and we're not present, and we just kind of clump through the day, and we trip on a root or we slip on a banana. Sure, it can happen, but being more mindful can help us to prevent such injuries or strain in certain parts of the body. So let's get into the herbs. Now that's my favorite subject when it comes to healing, because I personally, and I know many, many, many others on the road to Wellville, wouldn't be where they are, wouldn't have the activation within their bodies and the communication, the unspoken communication of herb language, cosmic herb language that has occurred through the consistent and the genuine accurate use of herbs. All organic, wild crafted, the best. So you have pain. What herbs can you use? Now, I'm going to go through herbs that I have used and that I have researched and studied that help with inflammation and help with pain. But I am not going to state this list as a entire regiment that one should follow, taking all of these. So I can mention example, let's say 10 herbs. Now, I'm not going to tell you to take 10 herbs. I don't think that is a good idea because that is conflicting, and really there'd be no reason for that. I would say to do your research or to try these herbs in their individual usage and see what the body responds to. What are you having more of a positive outcome from utilizing? It might be also a combination. I have a few combinations that I use, for example, when I have a headache. And that combination I do not use when I strain my knees in some sort of physical practice, athletic scenario. Then when I have been facing something with my back or my back injury or strain from the past, that will be a different combo of herbs. So you have to be able to use these herbs, I feel, on their own and then observe the response that you have. I will also tell you that most all of the herbs that I recommend, the best method of delivery, the quickest, and I think the most viable is in the tincture form. Now, usually you can find your herbal tinctures in a grain alcohol base or a glycerin. A glycerin is more like saying a sugar water. And that's sweet and that's easy to use. But what I can say, and I have learned this over time and I've learned it the hard way, is when you use these herbs and on the package it says 15 drops of this for a dose or 2 full droppers a day for a dose, listen to those recommendations. I've gone under, and that isn't horrible, but I haven't really gotten the full benefit. Then I've gone over and I've had side effects which were not comfortable, not to mention, being very wasteful. Herbs are very specific and beautiful in the fact that they can really be used in those measurements and those titrates that's the activation. That's what you can utilize. You do not need to use more, and you might not get the effect if you use less. So what is it all about? Balance and harmony. So what herbs can we use? First herb on the list for sure is CBD. I stand behind that. As a matter of fact, I'm going to tell you, if we want to talk about different combinations or different herbs that we can use for different regions of the bodies or different types of pain, no matter what I do, I have a base CBD. It's headache, it's shoulder soreness, I bashed my elbow, I strained my knee, CBD. But again, watch those dosages. I've overused CBD and it made me very lethargic, fatigued, exhausted, even into the next day, almost like a hangover. So be aware. I'm in the woods. Very odd. Thank you for being so patient with me. So the CBD is absolutely beneficial pretty much every time, but really start small and titrate with that because that is going to be very, very effective and very helpful. When you pick your CBD, of course, I'm always going to promote and say organic, full spectrum, and definitely from a reliable source. Do your research. I personally really enjoy the what is that called? The Lazarus, I believe it's Lazarus CBD out of memory. So now we're going to move forward with other herbs. We have California poppy. Now, that is really great utilized in its tincture form. And that helps with kind of minor aches and pains. It also is very effective and helpful with sleep and lessening anxiety. So, a lot of these herbs I'm going to mention are very effective for pain, but also have attributes and aspects that are very calming herbs, and really relaxation herbs. And some of these herbs are nerve tonics that basically suppress in a very gentle and positive manner um, the wow, it's a gorgeous hawk. The neurological system. So then we have Arnica. Now, Arnica, I have used in stat situations when I've had a stronger injury. They do make it in a topical cream, a salve for the region to rub on, and I've used it in tincture form. I do not use that long term. That is definitely much more of a stat. So look into that. That's been very effective and helpful. Then we also have hops. Now, this is the same hops that we use in our beer brewing recipes. And hops are very effective in a multitude of different ways. It is very good for, again, sleep patterns and bringing one into a nice calming state. It is a nerve tonic. It is going to relax the system. And it is very effective that I have found with pain. Now, I do use hops and California poppy in combination. That I found to be very, very helpful. So, hops is great in tincture form. I find a lot of these herbs, tincture form, organic, also on Etsy, for example. So, there are some great companies out there that carry these lines. Then we're going to move into skullcap. Now, skullcap again is a very calming, grounding, soothing, relaxation, but pain assisting herb. Like I've said before, to play around with these herbs and to use them in their single form to their correct dose and see what results you get. I may have no drowsiness from skullcap and I could take it in the morning, go through the day, and have pain relief. You may take it and it makes you very drowsy, so you notice it's something that maybe you'd use at night because you're having discomfort trying to go to sleep. Then we have chamomile. Chamomile, we know chamomile tea, really great with lemon. Also chamomile tincture, and they do make capsules. Now, again, that's going to help to calm the nervous system. That's going to help to calm the mind and calm the body. That is really great in combination with other herbs in this matter for pain. I haven't so much had very high results for chamomile individually when it comes to discomfort and pain, but absolutely utilized for anxiety or uneasiness or to calm the self. Then we will go into let's see, what is another calming herb? Valerian root. Now, valerian root I use primarily in the PM or the end of the day because that is something that helps to put me into a rhythmic sleep cycle. It really is very effective. It's almost like a melatonin effect to me, where it really helps me to not only fall asleep but to consistently sleep through the night, and it does help with pain. So I use that in the evening. So these are different ideas for pain. Also, turmeric. Turmeric is very effective in a multitude of different ways. An entire book, an entire video could be devoted to turmeric solely for all of its different properties. Being anti-cancer, being alkaline forming, and also to be very, very effective for inflammation. Now, I have had people that I've worked with and helped out. Woo! I almost sensed like there was an energy form here. But I have really had great results from people who have had injuries who just used turmeric. And I always promote it in its raw form. Yes, again, we can go to the tincture. But what I personally do is I utilize fresh, organic, raw turmeric that I chop up and dice. And we always have to put that into a, as I call it, the peanut butter and jelly of turmeric with black pepper. You can't have the black pepper without the turmeric. You can't have the turmeric without the black pepper. Why? Because the black pepper activates the magic and the different constituents in that turmeric, which is going to give you incredible benefit. I stand by turmeric. I say let's make a pyramid here, and we've got CBD on the top because it's just so effective beyond pain. It's effective for just grooviness itself and smiling a lot and being really tapped into that love vibration. CBD really brings that through. It kind of busts through the matrix real fast. But also then turmeric, it's so effective. So check out ordering fresh turmeric, dicing that up. Dosage, you can read up on that for different ideas for different recipes. What are you doing? Are you putting it on your salad at night? I do mix it with fruit. It's good with melon. But I usually use a few pieces, maybe about this big. So maybe a thumb size. I might use 2 or 3 of those thumb size. You can juice turmeric. And I think you will absolutely feel the benefits of that. So I'm trying to think if there are any more herbs that I am forgetting, and perhaps I have, but I think that's a great start to how to approach having pain, how to contend with the fact that something is imbalanced in your body, and you're taking those holistic or those natural steps forward to begin dealing with the imbalance, the discomfort, and you're not going to the acidic and the stomach biodome destroying pharmaceuticals and NSAIDs and anti-inflammatories and aspirins. Those are killing you. So you have to be able to not take shortcuts, but to be in it for the long haul, because then when you come out of it, you're going to be able to live in balance and harmony with nature and with the self. And if you're going to do that, you're going to have an absolute blissful, peaceful, and amazing and light-filled love vibration. You're going to enjoy this life. You're not going to be masking or going against the rules of higher cosmic source and all of the intelligence we've been given. So these are just my ideas and how I've gone about having pain. I have gone through the journey of pain, so I do believe that my advice can be very helpful for those who perhaps may apply this. And I'm no medical professional. I'm just a guy on earth listening to cosmic truths and different information that is given to us from our creation. So I hope that this video can help you with your discomforts, your strains, your pains, your bruises, and your bumps in the road. Please always leave comments below the video. If you have any questions, just ask and I'll do my best to answer those. Let me know if you've had any positive results from any of these herbs that I've mentioned, or other herbs that perhaps I forgot about, because I didn't write a script to make this video. You won't believe it, but I just walked into the woods and I did it on the cuff because I wanted to be able to convey and share information that might help you, because I have gained and gathered so much information from higher source, but also from you and from others who have given us a part of them or their message or information via YouTube or Rumble or wherever the heck it comes from. So I hope that this video helped you today. Please subscribe to my channel, like and share, and I really appreciate your support always and your love. So remember, we are all one consciousness and we are in this together. There is no divide. The only divide is created by those who aren't even from this planet. So they're trying to invade the grooviness that we got going on in humanity, because it's all love, high vibration. So thank you so much. I hope you have a blessed, wonderful day, and listen to your heart. Listen to your body. It's going to let you know things. Bye. Sweet. So I have a little add-on here to my video about pain and herbs. Totally forgot frankincense. Frankincense I use in capsule form. There's really great, what is it called? Baswali. Boy, sometimes I forget these technicalities. So anyway, frankincense is an incredible pain killer. It is used in Indian medicine as aspirin. It is a godsend for inflammation and for pain. And then also I did forget to mention white willow bark. White willow bark is where they derived aspirin from, synthetically speaking. So that is the origin of aspirin, white willow bark. So you can get white willow bark loose. You can make tea with that, or I get the capsules. They do have a tincture. But frankincense and white willow bark, so add that to the list of natural holistic herbs, which are very effective. If you have a severe headache, white willow bark is incredible in combination with frankincense. So check that out. I knew there was some herbs that I was leaving out. I should have written a script. So thank you so much again. Love and light to you, and stay in the harmony of the self, because if you do, then you're going to connect to the true essence of your potential and why you're here. And Mother Gaia, she's just going to heal you and make you feel groovy. Thank you so much. Have a good day. Bye.